Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so thankful you're here. Today, I'm going to just do a short video because I've been a little concerned about the information that's coming out regarding Ruby Franke's husband, Kevin, because it seems like this information was underreported because there was so much information coming in from Jody Hildebrandt, some history with her counseling, coming in with Ruby Franke, and from the channel 8 passengers that became very famous. So, let me tell you what I have been able to collect information regarding Kevin. And I'm sorry, I'll be turning some pages here. I hope it's not too loud. There were a few instances, which there may be many more, that I wasn't able to independently verify, but they were describing some issues with him when he was teaching at Brigham Young University. That basically it sounds like he has a temper and began to get angry with students through the years. There was even one report saying that he threw a book at a student. So, since that's not been verified from the particular student or a student in the class that wanted to share their name, briefly, I just thought I would touch on that. But what I have today is the situation with Ruby Franke's home, which, if you'll remember, the children were at Jody Hildebrandt's home that's about 4 hours away. And Ruby Franke had insisted that Kevin, her husband, the father of these 6 children, move out of the home and work on himself so that they could possibly repair the marriage. So he chose to do that. Now, if that's just the cover of what they're saying, I don't know. But from what I understand, what the reports are, he chose to do that, and he had been away from, or living away from, the family home for 13 months. Now, when Ruby Franke's child went for help, and then the police were called, the ambulance was called for his condition, Ruby had called Kevin, telling him that it was an emergency to get over here. So, from what I understand, she set the boundaries that he could not contact them, he couldn't talk to the children, and the only time he was allowed to is if Ruby initiated the contact. So I'm sure as trial comes along, a lot of these details may be teased out, and it could be just a little different from what we're hearing. But what we do know is that a couple of days after the arrest, Kevin went to the family home. He noticed that the door was broken. Or maybe this was the day before, and then he decided to call the police. But what basically I want to report on is his telephone call to the police that has been released. He contacted the police, and he wanted, his concern was to press charges on the oldest child. Now, she's an adult. Her name's Sherry Franke. She hasn't stepped forward to speak with anyone just yet, but if any of you know her, I would love to talk with her. And we can talk off the record, whatever she chooses, if you'll contact her. So he chose to call the police, insist that he wanted to press charges for breaking and entering, and he also wanted to press charges on her for burglary. He claimed that she had taken some of his important electronics and he wanted them back. So the police took the time to let him know, because of this situation that's ongoing right now, that we won't be pressing charges against the oldest daughter, because the police explained that she had gone in the family home to retrieve items for the children that were taken into state custody, their own personal items. The police said he didn't seem to want to listen. He wanted just to let them know the reason he's calling is because he wants to press charges. And so on that telephone call, the department, they explained the Department of Child and Family Services had informed the police when they were heading to the home along with Sherry to pick up some things. They thought Kevin might be at the home, and they said they needed police assistance because they had the suspicion that Kevin wasn't going to be cooperative. So when the police arrived, family members were already there, and that was the Springville police, and it was on September 1st. Now, the interesting thing one interesting thing about this is that the items consisted of 3 cell phones, interesting, 3 cameras / GoPros, so we don't know if it's like 1 camera, 2 of them are GoPros, or 3 of them might be, and I guess that makes sense since they have been videoing this 8 passengers channel, which I don't know how long it had been active. So he also reported that a stack of written journals of his were taken. He also reported that 3 passports for Ruby, Kevin, and one of their children were also taken. So the police let Kevin know that those items of his had been surrendered. They were at the police station, and he was welcome to come and pick them up. But they again explained to him, and that he did actually pick them up. We don't know what day that was, if it was that day or the next day. So he reiterated that he's calling to press charges. They reiterated that the family was in the home to gather the items for the children that are in state custody, and that those items that they had taken that were his had been surrendered to the police. So the police said that it didn't seem like he wanted to listen. He became very angry with the police, and he told them at the end of the conversation that he was going to sue them, the police, the law enforcement, that Kevin was threatening to sue them, and said, my lawyer will be in touch with you. So, wow, I thought that gave us quite a bit of insight into him. And I have a few pictures for you. And if you have any questions, or if there's something maybe that what I understood is not correct, please let me know, because I only want to share correct information. I want to let you know when I share something that's not been verified, then I'll make sure you know that. So thanks again for coming back, and I appreciate your likes on my channel. It does help very much when others are interested to find out maybe what they missed while all of this situation was going on. So right now I'm watching the trial from the movie Take Care of Maya. I think we're in day 10 now. And I'll be sharing that information with you soon. So tap the bell if you want to know when that information comes along. And thank you so much for subscribing. Wow, became a tongue twister pretty quick. It's probably because I'm on camera. Okay, have a good one, everyone.